On April 18, 1835, 45 merchants and clerks established the Young Men's Mercantile Library Association. Today, the Mercantile Library still retains its status as the literary center of Cincinnati. The library regularly hosts authors and writers, as well as book discussions, workshops, and forums. For more than 20 years, Albert Pyle has been the executive director of the Mercantile Library. He will retire on July 31, 2015. On this edition of Showcase, Albert Pyle reflects on his career and accomplishments, as well as the history of the Mercantile Library. Stay tuned, Showcase is coming up next.
Hi, I'm Barbara Keller, and welcome to this edition of Showcase. Today, I'm joined by Albert Pyle, the Executive Director of the Mercantile Library. Welcome to the show, Albert.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for coming, because we want to, first of all, tell people what is the Mercantile Library.
The Mercantile Library is sort of a dinosaur. It's a survivor from the days before there were public libraries. It's a membership library. You join by paying an annual subscription, and that entitles you to all the benefits of membership. It's $55 a year.
And you send the books to the person?
We do send books to the people, although in these days of Amazon and e-books, we don't do nearly as much of that as we used to.
Yeah. And what year was it established?
1835. It was organized in 1835, and it's been at 414 Walnut since 1840, which is, I don't know of anybody that's been in one place that long. And
public libraries, was that Andrew Carnegie? Did we have any before Carnegie?
We had him before, yes. He made a massive bequest to libraries across the country, but most public libraries got organized in the 1850s. But by that time we were a mature library.
Yeah. So your location is part of the charisma of the Mercantile Library.
It is. It's the only place we can be. We have one location at 414 Walnut, and we have no branches, and we're not about to move.
Tell our audience a little bit about the interior, because it's sort of time stands still when you walk into that venue.
It was designed for us when the building we're in, which is interesting enough on its own, was built by the Emerys, who later built the Netherland and the Terrace.
So
and
it predates
yes. And it was done by their house architects, which was the Steinkamp firm. So, and it's how we got there is a story in its own, but it's the full 11th floor of what was built as an office building, and a little bit of the 12th floor. It's 2 stories high. It's a glorious room. I think there's nothing else like it in town. And it is both a book storage place, it's a big reading room, and a performance space.
Do you stock current popular books?
We continue to buy books. We've always been a working library. We buy what our members want to read. We've always reflected the tastes of the membership, which change over time depending who's in the library.
Is a lot of it your input, your taste?
Well, I'm trying to, possibly a little bit, but I try to keep my thumb on the pulse of the members and get to know what they like.
So you could be called a curator.
In a way, yes.
Because you do and have some influence.
I do, although we have a very capable collector, which is a historic title for the fellow in charge of the 78,000 books in our collection.
You also, a year or so ago, had something about Elizabeth Norse.
We had, for about 10 years, we had the Elizabeth Norse sketchbooks, which were given to us by a family in the library. They were 14 out of, I think, 16 sketchbooks. They were wonderful. They were like records of where she had been. She was very quick with her pencil, and she would go capture it just before photography or before easy photography. So it was, you got this very immediate sense of what she was looking at and why. And so we took that collection, curated it, put the images, cataloged the images and so forth, and we took, I think, very good care of it until we were able to transfer it to the Cincinnati Art Museum, which is combined. Now that they've got the Cincinnati wing, we thought it was appropriate that the nurse materials would go to them and be with their growing collection of nurse paintings. So that's happening.
Do any of these sketches, are they connected? Can you see that some of them were done for paintings that you know exist?
Absolutely, yes. That's part of the thrill of them, is you can see the germ of the idea, and so a lot of those have been, yes, tied to final paintings, which are great.
We're interested in your tie, and so I want you to talk about that, and then tell us about some of these people.
Sure. The tie is one of it's a little revenue stream for us. We sell these. They printed on the tie. It's very it's the names of people who have spoken to the membership over the past 180 years. That's everybody
180.
from 180 years. That includes William Thackeray and Harriet Beecher Stowe and Joyce Carol Oates and John Updike. So it's all on here, and it's a great conversation starter, and it's, I think, kind of cool.
And so who was the first one from your period?
Oh, first one from my period would have been probably Ray Bradbury. That would be at our Niehoff lecture, which is the biggest event we have every year, which is both a big literary event and it's now a fundraiser for the library.
Yeah. Well, I've spoken to Buck Niehoff, of course, your great sponsor, who sponsors the Niehoff lecture, and love his book. A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Library. And when I read it, I was just amazed, because Buck is so genteel and polite, and yet his stories were right spot on about those people. I loved it. He didn't mince any words.
No, he didn't. He was tactful, but
always tactful, but truthful.
Yes, tactful but truthful. Yeah, it's a very funny book.
Are you the one who's had to deal with these people for the most part?
I am, but I have very capable assistants. I have our literary programs manager, Mary Englert, handles a lot of the details with that, and so yes, I'm often the guy who makes the ask, who writes off to the grandee, hoping they will come, which they usually do.
Yeah. Do you have any forewarning about people who might be, as we say, high maintenance?
I wouldn't dream of saying it.
You don't have to name the names. Just, is this a part of?
Yes, we have.
I mean, I've had some people on my. We have the same.
I'm sure you do, Barbara. No, we have had people who have been sort of difficult to talk to, which is not something good if you're going to come and talk to a room full of 400 people.
Yes, we like them to be able to talk.
We do like them to be able to talk, and for the most part, they're incredibly cooperative and easy to deal with, and very good about meeting our membership, and they're almost always a big pleasure to work with.
Well, I know that's a really special evening for all the literates in the city. We really enjoy those authors, and most of them are interesting, but some not so much.
Well, I'm sure I wouldn't touch that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting because just because you can write doesn't mean you can talk.
That's right, and you can't really expect people who work alone writing all the. Although they do have to be in touch with humanity, or what they write will be
J.D. Salinger, and then you just
Yeah. Although his works were incredibly interesting and very human. So, but he did go into self-imposed exile for years.
Yeah, but I've read enough about it that some accounts say he really did go out and went to the local store or whatever.
Right.
He wasn't really a total recluse. He did mingle in some.
But it's very local. And,
right.
Yeah, he did not seek fame.
Right.
For sure.
Well, now you're retiring soon.
I'm retiring this summer. That's right.
Do you have great plans for?
I have small plans, but people are constantly asking me what I'm planning to do. And I say, I'm going to read. And they are taken aback. Well, when you work in a library, if you like to read, and I love to read, I mean, I always have. And so I've denied myself a lot of reading because I thought it would be, I mean, I had a job to do, had a day job, and I was right there, but I was surrounded by books, which is kind of like being an alcoholic bartender.
In a distillery,
yes,
right.
So, but as I get closer to retirement, I'm reading a little bit more during the day. It's fun.
Tell us about some of the programs, because there seems as if there's something practically every day or night that you could attend at the library.
There is. We have, summer's a little bit slow, but during the year we have something for almost everybody in the membership. We have discussion groups that meet in the evening. We have a very nice lecture hall on our 12th floor.
That has those names around the ceiling.
It does.
Yes.
It does. It's very smart of you to recognize them. And so, yeah, the people get together up there, and we have a stable of group leaders that put together programs that generally 4 or 5 parts centered around books, or in some cases plays that you read for the discussion group. And then we have signature events throughout the year, the larger events that are generally in the reading room, everything from the 1835 history lecture, which is around our Founders Day in April, to our 2035 lecture, which is something dealing with the cutting edge of technology usually.
And you have prominent Cincinnatians who come and talk about.
We do. We have a great series called By the Book, which brings prominent Cincinnatians to. They come in at lunch and they talk for half an hour, 40 minutes about books that have been important to them in their working lives, and which is a very wide Catholic list of what you can do, because people are influenced by different kinds of books. And it's interesting to see what they select, and then interesting to see what they talk about. We just had Jeff Mearns there, he was lecturing, he was most interested in the influence of All the King's Men, which he read when he was very young. And,
Huey Long.
Yeah, Huey Long, and he was interested in politics. And
is he the?
He is the president of
NKU.
Yeah, and it's the second time he's been there. He's a fabulous speaker, beautifully organized, and well, I guess we should expect it because he was a prosecuting attorney.
Really, you better be a good speaker if you're a prosecuting attorney.
But he's made a wonderful career change.
Yeah.
And I think they are very lucky to have him over there.
I have had his predecessor, who was certainly very beloved and popular, Jim Vertuber, but I've never had him, so that would be...
You could not have anybody better. He's just fabulous. Yeah.
Actually, I just recently had the musical theater kids from NKU, and that's a show that's going to be on if our viewers want to watch for that. But what are the challenges of running? It seems so benign and wonderful, and how could you possibly have a problem?
That's all you should ever see.
Oh, well, tell us about something that might not be so.
Occasionally you can get disappointed members.
You mean what could possibly be a disappointment?
Some people are born to be disappointed, Barbara.
Well, I understand that, but I'm trying to think.
But we try to keep that to a minimum. We're very conscious of our position as being a library that you pay for in a city with a great public library. And the public library of Cincinnati and Hamilton County is one of the best in the country.
Right.
So we have to make sure that we provide good value, different value.
You mean, you see, some people don't think they're getting enough for their... How much is it to... I mean, I'm a member, but...
$55 a year for an individual and $90 for a household, and which we still think is a bargain. Because you get, with that membership, you get our stream of publications, and you get generally first crack at our events and reduced price or free if you're a member. So you get a lot from... We try to give a lot of value to the membership.
And are there fines for overdue
There are
books?
fines, which we have not raised in years. It's 10 cents a day, and it could be worse.
Yeah. I am a member, but I've never been fined because I've never taken out a book because
you come to events.
I come to the events, but I just buy books on Amazon because buying them is cheaper than the library fines I used to incur when I was going to a library.
That's quite a confession.
So yeah, you can't always wait for.
Well, that has changed business for us, really. Our members are often people who are well wired and are patrons of Amazon and other book selling sites, and they are perfectly capable of sitting up in their pajamas in the middle of the night and ordering something, seeing that they want to read and ordering it right then and there and getting it. So our circulation is nowhere what it used to be.
Right.
People have other ways to read. One thing we are doing that is new for us is building a larger collection of e-books so that you can get one of our books to your Kindle or your Nook or whatever you read on, or if it's your iPad, and people enjoy that pretty much.
Can you say what you're going to miss the most?
Of the library? Oh, easily the membership. It's every day I go in, work with people who love to read. I mean, it's people who come, if you join the library, you join because you love the place, which a lot of people do, but also you read for pleasure. And that's a very swell fraternity.
Yeah. I think the place itself is so monumentally Cincinnati and so precious that people, even if they didn't borrow the books, they want it to be there, they want to be able to visit it, they want to know that there's someplace like that still remaining.
I'm glad they do. We have people who come in who, again, don't borrow books, but they work in it. They use it as a what's called a third place. It's not work, or it's not home, but it's a great place to be. We have wireless so that you can use your electronic devices, but it's quiet, it's beautiful, and it's a pleasure to be there. Do
you encourage members or people who just to come in and look around?
Everybody gets a sightseeing visit. Everybody gets a chance to scope it out and see if it's someplace that they would like to join, because you shouldn't have to buy a pig in a poke.
Right.
And so they do. So yes, if you haven't been, by all means come down and pay us a visit.
Okay. So because you don't have someone that says you're not a member, so you
no,
can't, we don't want you in.
No.
No, you're much more friendly than that.
Yes, we try to be genuinely friendly, and we do want to see you and want to introduce you to the pleasures of the Mercantile.
Do you, as a retiring executive, see any changes for the future?
I think our electronic book collection will get larger, and I think we have a large collection of audiobooks for people who like them while they're driving or exercising, and we're probably within the next few years going to convert everything. Almost everything's on CD right now, and which seemed like just the greatest thing when they came out because they were better than the tapes. But people now will be getting their books on MP3 or an iPod, and they just plug it in once into the car, and there's the whole book.
Yeah, see, I don't speak technology.
You don't need to. Someone in your family
Thank
does.
Heaven.
And you could...
Yes, I have a great secretary whose office is right down the hall. Yes, he does all my emails, and he's really very good.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, we wish you a wonderful retirement. You've done great things at the Mercantile Library, and we hope it just keeps on going even without you.
It will. It will. We've got a great board.
We want to... Maybe you'll come back and report to us on what some of the great things you've read.
I'd be happy to.
In your retirement. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed learning more about the Mercantile Library and retiring Executive Director Albert Pyle.
To learn more about the Mercantile Library, please visit their website at www.mercantilelibrary.com. You may also call them at 513-621-4643. 0717.
It's no secret that I love the Cincinnati Opera. Each year when Evans Mirageous joins us on Showcase, he asks some of his best singers to perform on our show. And today I wanted to share with you a few of my favorite performances from the Cincinnati Opera that were taped a couple of years ago. I hope you enjoy them.
Zucchero porti in mezzo al cuore. Non esser gioia mia come crudele, lasciati almen veder mio bell'amore.
Wasn't that lovely? Thanks for watching Showcase. I'm Barbara Keller. Have a great night.
For more information about today's episode, please visit our website at www.cetconnect.org and click on the Showcase icon in the middle of the screen. While you're at our webpage, you can watch this and other episodes of Showcase with Barbara Keller on demand.